Everybody get up, it's time to slam now. We got the real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam. Here's your chance, do your dance at the Space Jam. Alright.
Welcome to Yellow Brick Road. I am Jordan, and today we're going to react to a video that I saw it like recommended to me, so I put it on my watch later list, and here we are. It's come full circle. It's Hasan and F.D Signifier talking about right versus left on YouTube. But before I get started, don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Check them out, read them, share them, then donate. Thank you. All right, so I probably know more about Hasan Piker, or know of him more than the F.D Signifier guy. But I started learning more and more about him, mainly through music. Anthony would send me videos or recommend videos. But I also saw a part of his video about kind of diagnosing what happened during the election for Kamala Harris. And of course, he attributed it to, race and gender. Because I think that was Kamala's main problem, man. She should have not been a woman and should have not been black. Duh. Although there's people who don't think she's black. What do they call her? What's the word for that shit called? Damn. There's like a thing they were saying. Because she's not like African American or something. Is it ADOS, right?
She's not ADOS. She's Indian. Half Jamaican.
She's all sexy, though. She's all sexy, though. I'll give her that. But
Willie Brown would agree.
Well, I diagnosed it as Kamala brought nothing that was new to the table. Now, if she got on a podium during the campaign and said, "Fuck you, Biden, fuck you, Trump, I'm going to shut on both of you and your terrible policies," because she had all the ammo she wanted. She had 4 years of Biden and 4 years of Trump. She can shut on both of them equally on numerous topics. But Kamala is beholden to the Democratic Party, thus she can't do anything outside the box. Meanwhile, Trump can just do shit outside the box because guess what? He can just lie about it and no one's going to hold him to it. Maybe not till now, but as far as he understands, as far as I understand, he can just say shit and then not follow through with it, and the fans will still cheer him on for it, right? And if he lies enough before the election and he gets elected, he's not going to run again. So he's good. Like, he doesn't need you anymore. He doesn't need to campaign for you anymore. He can just do whatever the fuck he wants. He's chilling. So, yeah, Trump could go during a campaign and be like, "Oh, well, the dirty neocons try to get me in wars. We're gonna make healthcare free for everyone and give everyone $5,000 a month. We're gonna do that." Right? He could just lie, and a lot of Trump fans will just eat that up, which is just bizarre as fuck to me. Especially having him there for 4 years already. It's like weird. But anyways, I just quickly saying, F.D Signifier, I disagree with his assessment. He may be leaning into identity politics as the main reason why things move in this country. And you know what? Maybe he's right. Who knows? Maybe he's right. I just don't think he's right. I think it's just a further divider of people. But whatever. Maybe Hasan is in that category as well. Maybe he agrees with him on those points. But the point is, I just want to lay that out there for people who don't know the F.D Signifier guy. And I guess we're just going to hear their points. I have not watched any of this. We're going to hear their points on right-wing YouTube versus liberal YouTube. Maybe they hate both of them. Right? Maybe they consider themselves progressives and the other guys are liberal. So maybe they're coming from that perspective. I don't think they would call themselves liberal. I'm pretty sure. I think they call themselves progressives. But, all right, here we go. Let's check it out. Let's see if this goes anywhere.
I just watched your
Goddamn
Wire
volume.
Schadenfreude video where everybody's channels are dying. Which I always knew that their subscriber count never matched their popularity. People will subscribe. Well, first off, bots one. Yeah. Also, people will subscribe to channels. Reactionaries will subscribe to a channel that says a mean thing about insert population here they don't like. They never watch again because it's not something they're actually motivated by. Well, but it's funny to hear.
They're falling apart partially because of the popularity, I would say, of the Trump administration. Like, there's no need for guys like that when Trump is in power, and then Trump is in power and your financial situation is not getting better. You go, okay, what the is this? If we get financial freedom,
remove DEI, then I'll get the job that I'm not qualified for.
And it's like that's precisely the problem. That's not happening. This happened in the first Trump administration as well. A lot of these like right-wing guys that got so much prominence leading up to the election started slowly dying out. And a lot of people started moving away from that because people recognized that this kind of politics in practice was gross and it was too much for them. Like child separation as a mechanism of deterrence was like a bridge too far for many people. And so, they realized.
I'd be curious if these guys actually talk to regular people. I'd be like very curious. I don't know. Oh, okay. I'll let them keep going. Seems like they're saying some kind of inside baseball things that may not be the correct diagnosis here. But let's hear they go before I explain further. Here we go.
That this is bullshit, that they're being served bullshit.
No, what I was trying to figure out from when I was watching the video was why are Morgan Cooper, is that her name? Something Cooper?
Brett Cooper.
Brett Cooper. Why are her and Asmund Gold still working? Like, what are they doing? Like, because I do not, like, I've tried to watch, I try to keep up with shit, right? A little bit. I'm a video essayist nerd for real. That's why I'm good at my job.
Yeah. He's throwing straight. He's throwing like subs, subliminals, 100%. But I don't really watch their stuff. But I'll have every critique in the world ready to go. Anyways, here we go.
It's all I really watch on YouTube most of the time, in between like a football podcast and something about anime or a horror story, whatever.
It's all making sense now. Fucking anime fans, they fuck everything up. That's right, all of you anime fans. It's all your fault. Well, maybe not politics, but movies. You're ruining all my movies, okay? Fuck. Damn you anime fans. Damn you.
But I'll dabble when I see things are popping off on the timeline. Okay, who's this? What's this? What's happening? And I don't know. Do I even want to start fires with certain people while I'm here? Because I've also gotten blowback from another individual whose name I don't want to bring up, who had people emailing in my DMs a couple of weeks ago. And I was like, I have nothing to do with this. Please stop. Don't give me an excuse to make a video about it.
I'm just saying, for the once again, the main video of politics I've seen in the guy is that he's like, Kamala lost because of gender and race. And he's like, and no one's made a good enough argument to convince me otherwise. I think I made a pretty good argument in his comment section. Obviously, it didn't get responded to at all. I was pretty late too. I'll be fair. He has a lot of viewers, so he probably didn't even see mine. I'm just saying. I think I made a decent argument about the image of the candidates and what's being actually presented. For some people, they see Kamala and see just another 4 years of Joe Biden. Meanwhile, when some people see Trump, they see a revolution. And I kid you not. From woke stuff to foreign policy, on all levels, people were seeing, it's going to be a revolution. He's going to be more anti-war than Kamala Harris. I didn't believe that at all, but that's what I saw people were going with. And now we're at the point where funny enough, I've had arguments with Trump supporters, like in this Discord, and even back when I was doing YouTube like years ago. And I was telling them, like, don't be that case where we see you on a documentary in 10 years saying, oh man, listen, we fell for it, I made some mistakes, I fell for it, and now to this day, there are Trump fans that are like, I got tricked, I fell for it. He's not the guy we thought he was. Yada, yada, yada. Right? But either way, regardless, this last election, right, the image of the two candidates were almost like just seemingly polar opposites in a way. right? It seemed like the quote unquote lefty guys were trying to vibe vote, but it mainly was probably just older people doing it. It wasn't like young people, if I had to guess. I'm sure young people didn't support either, but if there was a mass of young people, it'd be supporting Trump, not Harris, if I had to guess. It was, once again, just my guessing. And this poor guy doesn't recognize that that Kamala is a shitty candidate. She's a blatantly shitty candidate. Just like Hillary Clinton voters didn't realize she's a dog shit fucking candidate. She's actually one of the worst ever. Kamala's not that bad, but look at her associations with dog shit presidency of Joe Biden, her getting like absolutely body slammed by Tulsi Gabbard when she was running against Joe Biden in the 2020 election. Right? People didn't forget that. And Trump's he has the image of being from one end anti-war and the other end anti-wokeism. And don't worry about the economy, or he'll handle that. Don't worry about that. He's a businessman. Don't worry about that stuff. Right? So he had the image of success. I didn't believe it, but a lot of people did. And Harris provided nothing that was the alternative to Biden at all. She probably tried to, but her narrative doesn't go far enough. What she would actually have to do is scold, shit on, dismantle Joe Biden, which she was not going to do. She would have to do that in order to stand apart from Joe Biden, and then she can fully fucking roast Trump. And then people will be like, damn, maybe Kamala was just holding back the whole time. Maybe she's the real deal. Anyways.
Yeah, it's possible. I would agree that it's possible they would have been like, all of that, like, basically mediocrity and non-action, like not really accomplishing that much was like we won't see that with Kamala, like, but that's not what they were given the feeling of. Like it was basically going to be more Biden, like you said.
Yeah, and even on the mainstream level, I know not as many people like looked that deeply into foreign policy, but there was, just like Hillary Clinton, there was a narrative. The Democrats are going to start World War III. Right? That was a narrative. Even during this most recent election, that was a narrative. Like she's going to increase things with Ukraine, cause a war with Russia, and that's World War III. Right? Granted, I saw the same risk with Trump, but Trump fans just didn't see that. And let's be real, they're probably snoozing in his sleep when Trump did his first 4 years of presidency. They didn't see the actual things that he was doing. So, but regardless, like
her boldest promises were on like DEI policies. I'm not being facetious or snarky. It really was.
I think she actually walked further away from that stuff to present herself to be more right-wing friendly, right? She talked about border security, I believe. I think she tried to keep the woke stuff, the quote-unquote woke stuff, out of her campaigning.
No, like towards the end, she was saying stuff like, we're going to expand DEI, like the furthest that's ever been seen. Like we're going to completely, because we're facing such a threat and such a force. And so it was like really bold statements regarding expanding DEI. I heard out of her own mouth.
Okay, fair enough. I did not see that, to be real with you. But I did hear
I'm not just
guys...
making it because it's controversial and sensational. I'm not bringing it up just to like, dunk on anybody. It's like literally. She did say and promise that like it was like for her crowd and the crowd was all cheering and stuff, but yeah.
Okay. I just heard some people that do inside
I'm just
baseball
gonna add
politics
something.
saying that she actually was less heavy on that. Go ahead, Harrison.
Allowed Ukraine to like increase the military 4 times fold during his first administration.
Yeah,
That pissed Russia off.
this is true.
And they also got weapons. So, yeah.
Maybe that was I should make apologies for him, but maybe it was like to appease Europe and bolster his tough guy image thing. I don't know.
I mean, both. If you're talking about Biden,
Yeah, but they're all dead now because Russia is huge and Ukraine is small.
I mean, both their policies have been to fuck with Russia, both the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. Even through Trump's first term, it was to fuck with
I
Russia.
think though,
they're all fucking
I
with
think though
Russia.
that like, when it comes to like the narrative over like the last 15, 20 years, I mean, like America's been a really prominent country and people like around the world, while, sensitivities to things like in political correctness and looking back at history and some sort of like, uh, I think it was a very weak attempt to like look back at history and deal with some of the like crazy things that happened in terms of quote unquote racial injustice, and which is, well, not like I'm saying it's not real, but I think that everybody pointed their finger at America in that narrative, and it was like even Americans participating in it. But if you look back at like colonialism, or if you look back at like slavery, there was a lot of Dutch hands in that. There was a lot of British hands in that. There was a lot of like European hands in colonialism, all this crap. And but America seemed to take like more of the, like, because like I don't know, just they're powerful or something. I don't know. What was my point about that shit?
We're going to.
I don't know.
Yeah, good.
Uh, Yeah, I think it's the same thing now as like America getting a lot of rap about the Ukraine. Like America's the one sponsoring the Ukraine thing, and people say that America blew up the Nord Stream pipeline. I don't know. Maybe they did. I don't know. Maybe we did. I think it's interesting that like to have a like one, just to have a scapegoat almost of America is sometimes I get that feeling, and I'm almost getting that again with Ukraine a little bit, and like Trump, because Trump is the center stage. But I think Europe's just as much. When you look at like Norway, somebody said like
Yeah,
just
Europe
the
is.
Ukraine Russia war, Norway made like $6 billion a year on oil and gas sales, and like then go figure, they're giving some millions of dollars to Zelensky to keep up his efforts. Well, go figure, because it's good for business for them. It might be bad for the average European, but it's very good for certain people in terms of this war.
Yeah, but we're talking about Harris versus Trump. That's why. But yeah, Europe is definitely.
But it's like
heavily involved.
America gets all the blame though. Like it's just this American thing. I don't know.
From who? The people I listen to blame Europe as well. I mean, Boris Johnson was out here like, no, like I think Ukraine was ready to like give up. I think, and Boris Johnson's like, no, keep going, bro. Here's more money and weapons. Keep going, keep fighting. When they had a chance to maybe go to an actual ceasefire, right? So
yeah, it's just I don't think it should be on. Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I guess I should apply that shit fairly, and it shouldn't be all on Biden's shoulders either.
Yeah, it's just like these guys, it seemingly on the surface clearly seem to be marching in a direction and on purpose and in tandem with each other. It doesn't seem like they're at odds with each other on those particular things. But whatever. All right,
Yeah, Israel as well. Yeah, Western Europe is where all the corporations are. If you look at the map, like all the corporations are located in Western Europe, Northern Italy.
Fair enough. All right, let's continue. So I'm just giving you a heads up of where this guy. Actually, I forgot where I was going with that. Whatever. This guy blamed race and gender for Kamala Harris's failures, and so consider that when he's arguing with someone like Asmongold or Brett. I don't know her policies too well. Brett Cooper, whatever her name is, the hot nerd chick. Anyways, here we go. Asmongold's a rat, by the way. He's a rat boy. All right, here we go.
But I'm wondering, like,
I feel like I know who you're talking about.
how is, like, I've never seen Brett Cooper, a video of Brett Cooper videos. Never popped up on my timeline.
Yeah.
I only
Neither have I.
her because
It's
you
weird.
mentioned her years ago.
I'll tell you what it is.
Neither have I, and I want some because I saw her in that Snow White trailer thing, that fake Snow White video. She's kind of a hottie, bro, like a hot nerd. And you know what? YouTube, recommend me some Brett Cooper,
and
bro.
She's thick.
I don't know that.
And
part.
she's never had plastic surgery. Well, she is like only 23, so you got to cut her some breaks.
Now you made it weird. Okay. I was happily fantasizing about a 29-year-old chick in a Snow White outfit. Now ruined it. Anyways, let's continue. I've never seen a Brett Cooper. I don't think I've ever seen one of her videos before. Just keep it a buck. All right, here we go.
Brett Cooper is like the right wing's answer deliberately to what I was doing at the time, because they're much smarter than liberals are in general. Right. They openly admit this to this as well. Like Turning Point USA documents show like basically do what Hasan is doing in their
but it looks so fake, though.
It is, but it doesn't matter. People are.
But Hasan, you're not doing anything fucking special. The idea is projecting that you're honest, projecting that you're authentic. That is the thing I think people want the most. It's someone that seems like, oh, they're really that. That's it. And let's be real, if you get a major following because you do some sort of pop culture podcasting or you're a part of kind of pop politics type stuff, that means you're probably going to have a decent following and people will show up just to shit on you too. They'll show up just to dislike your shit. All right? So, like, formulate, like, you're not doing anything fucking special. I don't want to hear this guy pretend he's doing something special. You're not doing anything special, bro. You're not unique. You're not even that interesting, to be real with you. I'm just keeping it real. But yeah, I think the idea of you being authentic is what gets a lot of audience members around. Maybe looks too. Is that a pause moment right there? Just being real. Like, he looks like a certain type of guy, bro. Just keeping it real. Let's keep it rolling. There we go.
People still,
she's
they
talented
still like
enough to carry.
He liked me for my personality.
I think she
I'm
is
not sure about
talented
that
for
but.
sure. It's because she was doing what I do in the way that, like, I don't always serve you the vegetables. I give you some sweet around it as well, right? Like, I don't just talk about politics or reveal my worldview every single moment.
Right.
But I do it in the process of reacting to silly shit or talking about culture and lifestyle. And that's precisely what she does, where she...
Damn, I was doing that before Hasan. That's crazy.
focuses on
But it worked for me.
things that are popping.
Oh, I'm not backed by
the
fucking giant
ecosystem,
money handlers.
Like,
not enough video game women in video games.
Well, that's Asmongold. So
that's Asmongold.
So Asmongold does that as well, where he is like established. He's an established, prominent figure that has like all the reactionary tendencies that gamers have, and he for years and years has been doing this like anti-woke shit in gaming.
Right.
And it was perfectly organic for him to move into the political sphere as well, in the political arena as well. And then talk about Trump from the perspective of content and present himself as like an apolitical, unbiased guy who just seemingly always on board.
Yeah, Tim Pool did that first. He didn't do it first, but he did it before Asmongold did. I remember Asmongold raising money for Ukraine, right? Which I think people would consider left-leaning, right? But all right, fair enough. Once again, I still think there needs to be some sort of sense of honesty and authenticity that the audience believes is the real thing. I remember watching a video where someone made a video about Asmongold, saying like, "Man, no one would fake that. This guy's for real." All right? It's like, or some of the guys where I make fun of Hasan Piker or I do a video about him, I'm like, man, I wonder what he'd do if he was caught in this scenario. My guess is he'd do something that's full of shit. And people would come to my comment section and tell me, you don't know Hasan, you don't know him. Right? Like almost like a scorned family member or a partner or something. It was bizarre behavior. Like, you don't know him. It's like, do you? It's weird. But that's because of the projection of authenticity. And which I'm not calling him inauthentic. I'm just saying that is a key factor that's needed. I think especially for younger people, I think they need to think that you're not bullshitting them. And I can go down a whole psychological rabbit hole with all that, but my opinion of psychology, by the way. But I'll leave that there. Here we go.
Or with Donald Trump.
Right.
Notice how for both of these guys, for Brett Cooper is drama and culture, and for Asmongold is also drama and culture as well, but like mostly gamer related shit. It's not like Ben Shapiro in the way that Ben is a political commentator first and foremost, and boring and nerdy and annoying, and tries to like intellectualize the reactionary ideology. For them, they're just like you. They're a regular guy who has these opinions and thinks Trump.
There it is. That's Rogan too. That's Rogan's kind of okay. So Hasan does see what I'm seeing. All right. Got it. I was about to say something like, because I make fun of Asmongold, like, showing how dirty his dishes are when I know he's a multimillionaire. I just find that, like, hilarious. Like, some dude who brags about having rats under his bed or something like that, or roaches on him, or whatever the fuck. Like, dude, you're a multimillionaire. You don't have to live like that, bro. No one's asking you to go out and buy 30 Benzes, but hey, man, don't fucking, whatever, do your thing. I think it's for show, but, But then again, it's like, yeah, Hasan, who's like, he has a samurai sword collection. Like, how many thousands of dollars does that cost? Let's be honest. Don't you live in like a mansion, bro? It's weird, man. It's a little weird. The projection of like, I'm just some guy, man. I happen to have $30 million, I just happen to have that. What do you want from me? It's just like a weird eyesore thing.
Lives in his mom. He lives in his mom's house.
No, he does not.
And he feels guilty because people are on the internet saying he killed his mom.
Oh shit.
I don't know. No, that is true. People have been saying that because she had
wait.
some kind of lung disease because he was not taking care of the house. And
oh no, you're talking about Asmongold. Okay, yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, I'm talking about the roach breeder. But yeah.
Yeah, I heard
don't
that.
know that.
I thought you were saying Hasan.
Yeah, me too, because I was talking about Hasan, so I thought he was talking about him.
No, I don't know that much about Hasan other than he likes to support terrorists, but Asmon he just likes to hoard his money. He likes to hoard everything.
Maybe.
Have you seen his house? He's a weirdo.
I think he's kind of full of shit on that level. I really do.
You think he's got like a beach mansion somewhere set up for him when the shit falls down?
Like, if the wind blows really hard, the set falls apart. It's just like he's in Cancun.
He's got a lot of money in the bank. I don't know what he's up to. I mean,
let's say he was like that. Let's say he's just chilling, collecting checks, and he doesn't spend the money on anything. It's like, well, he has accountants and all this shit, bro. He uses money for
maybe
bigger power moves, like corporate. He probably has his money invested by investors that he hired, by the accountants he has, lawyers he has. He starts organizations. He pays people. That's not some just guy I don't give a fuck about nothing, right?
Yeah, he's not just the Rat King. He's got hundreds of employees. That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know if it's hundreds, but he definitely has. He has plenty.
Hundreds of employees. I'm telling you right now.
Possibly, I don't know.
Where's it good?
I know he has more than one employee though. Put it that way. Anyways, and his political analysis, man, he comes off as fake and phony. He's just trolling a certain the MAGA group. He's just trolling them to get there. I don't know for what reason. Part of me hopes it's a social experiment, but I can't say I know.
I've watched his most recent video where he fell through his attic. That's an old ass house.
He fell through the attic, or he stepped in a floorboard, fucking broke,
injured. Well, yeah, he posted it on the YouTube, and they was like, "This is the end. I'm gonna die." Yeah, he was in the attic trying to find a dead rat.
Okay, I'm right.
He's a weirdo.
We'll see about that.
No, I did. Look up his channel, bro.
I'll check it out at some point.
I don't believe it's real. I believe he's got a Miami mansion set up already.
He has a house inside of his house. He built a house inside of his house. It's it's a real artificial sun just floating around his mansion to make it look like it's daytime in his house, in his fake house. What the fuck?
No, get off of Hasan. Look at Asmongold. He's like, I just fell through my attic. Almost killed myself. It's hilarious.
Oh my god! All right, let's continue. Here we go.
Base. There are a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there are a lot of people, especially online, like Asmongold.
The online, because when I started out it's funny. My first like super big video was about Bo Burnham, and in the middle of that video, I reject the idea of ever being a BreadTuber because I had the suspicion, even though I loved me some ContraPoints and all the OG BreadTube founding figures. I had the looming suspicion that the BreadTube audience was toxic and not overly serious, right? In terms of like actual like IRL action towards liberation, yada yada yada. When I look at the landscape,
I mean, he can mean what he's saying. It's just. I'd have to hear more from the guy. I'll be honest. I have to hear more from the guy to know exactly what he means by lean towards liberation stuff or something like that. I'm like, well, you already assessed this one election as being about race and gender that I think is absolutely, like, it maybe in some parts correct, but in a lot of parts I think is way off. Way, way off. And because of that assessment, it makes me think you're that guy from what's it? I forgot the name of the fucking movie. E4, what's it called? DB4? I forgot the fucking name. The Chris Rock movie, bro. Where dude's like, I'm black. I'm blacker than black. So, is it Cell Block 4, right? Or CV4?
CB4.
Yeah. He's like, I'm black. I'm blackity black, and I'm black, y'all. And it's like, are you like that shit that they were making fun of? Are you that guy? Are you like that? I hope not, man. I hope you like think and use critical thinking and look at human qualities instead of seeing everything through race and yada yada yada. I don't know though. Who are you to question me? Like, I'm me. I'm allowed to question anyone I want to. Anyways, let's keep it rolling. So I just answered for him.
What our audience is versus what they do, and then what their audience is versus what they do. It feels like we're going to be much easier in terms of just the career aspect to sustain. Like the fact that I came up under while Joe Biden was president. I don't think so. If we elect, if Kwame Ture resurrects and becomes president of the United States in 2028, and we have the most Pan-Africanist, Black power, worst nightmare of certain people, presidency of all time, I don't think I'm going to lose momentum as a channel. You know what I'm saying? And like,
I mean, I would probably quit because I would
if you support them,
join the administration as the propaganda minister.
Yeah, we would do that.
Oh God! Oh, my stomach turned a little bit right there. Oh God! Did anyone else hear that? That sounded fucking gross. Now, F.D. like, yeah, you will lose followers if they do fucked up shit. People find out about it, and you keep supporting them. Yeah, you will lose followers. Hasan, that statement alone is bonkers. I'm wrecked by that one. Right? Now, like, I guess they would have to mean it, but, Pan-African, Black, liberal, like, I'm telling you right now, you can make a case for any race in this country being subjugated. You can make a case for any one of them. That's why it has to be about humanity, you fucking dummies. As much as you want to brag and say it next to this guy to maybe gobble up some of his fucking audience, you sound like a fucking doofus when you say shit like that, bro. Keep it a buck. Solidarity, man. Shut up, you fucking pussy. Small
Wait,
head,
I
big
missed
body.
the context. What is he saying solidarity with?
This guy was saying, like, oh, hypothetically, imagine there's some, pro-black liberation, pan-African guy who won the presidency. He's like, I wouldn't lose my audience. It was what the F.D. Signifier guy is saying, which I would say, if you support them and they do shitty things, you will lose support. Or they might just, maybe the government makes like a bot farm like some of these other content creators for them. But Hasan was like, yo, let me sign up as the propaganda minister for that guy because I guess he's in solidarity. And it's like, ew, what a fucking cringy thing. I don't care if he's joking. It's still cringy, though. Such a, ugh. Like, my stomach turned a bit. I'm like, ew. The fuck? You just showed me, like, I want you nowhere near me. Huh?
Wait, did he say that, though? I'm sorry, I should pay better attention.
Sorry, I'll play it back. Here we go.
2028. And we have the most Pan-Africanist, Black power, worst nightmare of certain people, presidency of all time. I don't think I'm going to lose momentum as a channel. You know what I'm saying?
I think you would if you supported them while they're doing horrible things. If they're doing awesome things and you support them, I think you'll look good. I think it's kind of that simple.
And like,
and then Hasan says,
I'd probably quit because I would go and join the administration as the propaganda minister.
Yeah, we would do that for you. We would do that.
Current Affairs actually
I don't know why I
found
just
that there was a deliberate attempt.
was that
Was
Nathan
it
J.
supposed to be a
Robinson?
joke?
I assume a joke, but it's a joke where it's like it seems like a wink and a nod at.
But the
Like,
delivery
yeah, I'm
wasn't
down.
the delivery wasn't really like joke form.
It's kind of joke form, but it's kind of like saying, like, "Yeah, I'm down" type of person. I'm like, ew, go back to the fucking 60s, bro. Get this fool out of here.
Well, what do you think the original dude that is saying that? What do you think he means? Not this is Hasan.
He's saying I'll be fine with my content creation. Like I won't just lose audience members or whatever the fuck, or because I think that's what he's saying. I won't lose audience members. All right, I'll be fine. I'll keep afloat. I would hope he means
that audience members are gonna like him based on race.
No, like he's saying it has nothing to do with that. Like he is, his fans, his followers will stay with him. Hopefully, because I hope his idea of that is being authentic, regardless of who's in the presidency. But I think I don't know.
Pan-African worst president ever. Isn't that what he said? If we have some kind of Pan-African worst president ever.
No. He said Pan-African, like pro-black, whatever the fuck, right? Pro-black president doesn't mean I'm gonna lose. Like I'm not gonna lose followers all of a sudden. I think that's part of what he was saying. I'm like, if that Pan-African, whatever the fuck guy does some fucked up shit and you stand by him, yeah, you bet your ass you'll lose followers if people find out about it, right? As we saw with Trump in the first 4 years, he didn't really lose that many followers because people weren't paying attention to what he was doing in his presidency. But if they paid attention, then they'd be like, oh shit, yo, this guy's gonna fuck us over. Got it. Anyways, let's continue.
Yeah, we would do that for you. We would do that.
Current Affairs actually found that there was a deliberate
Nathan Robinson,
Midas Touch and David Pacman,
Nathan J. Robinson,
and the Cohens of the world.
I can't do like Proud does it.
Purposely avoid talking about Israel, like where under the Biden administration they recognized that this was like not
a losing battle.
Yeah. The Midas Touch political podcast has rapidly become the most successful.
Whoa. I want to hear that again. Sorry.
Deliberate.
Yeah, we would do that for you. We would do that.
Current Affairs actually found that there was a deliberate attempt by Midas Touch and David Pacman and the Brian Tyler Cohens of the world to purposely avoid talking about Israel, like where under the Biden administration.
That's obvious.
They recognized that this was like not
a losing battle.
Yeah. The Midas Touch political podcast has rapidly become the most successful in the United States. As the Wall Street Journal writes, downloads and views of Midas Touch on platforms including YouTube, Spotify, Apple more than double over the past month to top 115 million. This is more.
I just want to say, I think why it would be considered a losing battle is because you start seeing that both candidates have damn near the same policy when it comes to Israel. I think that's why those topics like that are harmful for these dumb fucks like David Pacman, or I don't even know the other people, but David Pacman definitely, where he's trying to sell a particular political narrative. He's also like super pro-Israel, said that in there. But if their idea is just keeping it about left and right, Democrat Party versus Republican Party, people who are just dedicated to keeping that the case, they avoid topics where they have overlap. Like blatant overlap, where you can't tell one from the other type of shit, and
they accentuate the things that they differ in.
Sorry, say that again. Sorry.
And they accentuate the things that where they differ.
Yeah, but they're usually even those are either seemingly like inconsequential compared to. Yeah, they're all going to blow up children. But you might get school lunches on Friday for free. Like you might have pizza days on Fridays in school. You know what I'm saying? Free pizza day at school on Fridays, bro. Isn't that worth it? Lesser evil. See?
But there's also like they can't. There's a Reno 911 skit. They have a couple different ones where it's like there's this skit where like somebody like these certain they're investor guys that work for them for their like retirement funds or whatever. Come in and have a meeting, and they're like, and basically there's the premises that they're going to tell them that they lost a lot of money, right? But they frame it in this way that's like they say, well, it was up really high and all this other stuff. But they also like have, so there's these two guys giving the presentation, and there's a guy in the audience who's like a plant, You know, you watch the show, there's certain people, but anyways, like these guys, like a plant playing, and he's like, yeah, that sounds reasonable, and like he's just like saying all these things. It's actually like such a hilarious bit, and it's just for me, it's like so symbolic and so representative how it's like, you know, and the whole thing is he's like, yeah, guys, right, guys, like it's so suggestive, like I'm one of you, you know. So it's like the
Yeah.
discussion's framed and the response to the discussion is framed.
Yeah, I kind of missed your point there, but
Well, I mean, I want to even go back to the idea of like the Greek chorus. Like, I don't know, fuck, like that was like representing something. Like it's staged, a staged aspect of the chorus representing the people's feeling. I don't know.
yeah. Well, yeah, they all kind of do that. But then if you look at that topic in particular, in fact, David Pakman's policies would be very similar to Donald Trump's policy on that particular topic, which is which is why they have this idea of progressives where they're supposed to be standing outside the Democratic Party or have better stances than the Democratic Party because like those guys fucking suck. All right, they like blatantly suck.
It relates to earlier, like when you said the guy came, they were like, you don't know him, you don't know him. Like that's part of it. Like even these, like whatever, all this bodified, crazy, simulated, like the comment section being, you know, funky business going on there. Like all of that's part of it.
Yeah. But all right. Point is, Pakman can't say certain things. Let's say Pakman is just super pro Democratic Party, which I guess he seemingly is, but it almost feels like it means nothing at this point. But let's say he is, all right. But there's certain topics that are overlapped, which is why neither side talks about it. Even on the debate stage, you'll see these guys not really touch on certain topics where they just both agree. And they both agree on some of the most horrible things in the world. Let's just be honest about it. So, all right, here we go.
To become the most successful in the United States, as the Wall Street Journal writes, downloads and views of Midas Touch on platforms including YouTube, Spotify, Apple more than double over the past month. The top 150.
I tried like 5 minutes of their content. I was like, trash.
During the same time period, Midas Touch is run by 3 brothers: Ben, Brett, and Jordy Maislas. But I love Midas Touch, like in a somewhat ironic way, because like
they're trash. Well, I can't say they're trash. I haven't seen enough. I've seen small portions of their content. I'm like, this is trash, and stopped watching immediately. But then again, I don't know. I'm not boring. I'm fun. Maybe that's why. But let's continue.
I always say they do like George Bush era liberalism.
I have a big dick.
Maybe
that's my reason.
Defender of Midas Touch for quite a while because like they're the ones who will make like video compilations of talking about how like the Republicans are files. Like they're hardcore sometimes. They've been receiving a lot of
that's hardcore
press. The Times reports that they're fast becoming power brokers in Democratic politics. Party faithful hope finally replicating the influential media ecosystem that Republicans have built over the past decade. They're described as the independent progressive.
Now, what's probably building them, other than the bots and the, let's be real, organizations that boost them up, buying followers and all that shit, other than that, is probably that Trump sucks, and it's pretty obvious he sucks. Thus, you'll create more of an audience. When he does fucked up things, guys that play this left-right game can point it out and look good doing it. Like I've said a million times, Rachel Maddow looked amazing when George W. Bush is in office. Looks horrible when Barack Obama's in office. You get what I'm saying? There's not as many people as you think that balance, no matter who the fuck's in office, actually hold their own weight. I don't think as many people have done that. Right? If Biden's in office and he makes a deal with Ukraine, Alex Jones goes absolutely batshit crazy, right? If Trump's in office and makes a deal with Ukraine, Trump's like, oh, this is part of the plan. This is what we're supposed to be doing. Right? They're, at the very least, characters of the time. They play their roles for whoever the fuck's in office. They keep you kind of in that left-right thing. And if you become brand new to politics, some of these guys sound incredible. They sound genius. They sound like freedom fighters. They sound like anti-war motherfuckers. Keith Olbermann was counting down every single day that we were in war with Iraq. He counted them down. It's like, and this is day 254 of us in Iraq. Right? Whereas like that looked like fucking brilliant shit back in the day. But then Barack Obama came into office, and these fools fell asleep, thinking they were getting the same fiery person. Like, nope. He's still just focused on Republicans. Now there's a new guy in office. Like, you won. The president, you have a Democratic person in office. And he's doing horrible policies in the Middle East. But you're not covering that. Why aren't you? Because you're here to keep us in this fucking bullshit loop of left and right. Which, my God, once again. Sorry, Ben, I'm going to say it again. As of this day, right now, if you are still caught in the loop of left and right, you're a fucking idiot. I don't know how, like, if you come to me and tell me, like, no, just wait. When we get a person like AOC in office, or when we get a person like Bernie in office, then things will change. It's like, you guys were saying that about Barack Obama. He was that image of things. Like, no, he wasn't the real one. He wasn't the real one. The real one was Bernie and AOC the whole time. It's like, just wait until they get in office, then give up. It's like, fuck. To be fair, they haven't been president yet. I mean, they've been in office and have done some dog shit policies that I would be morally against no matter what. But they haven't been president yet, so.
So with Hassan. So with Hassan, as he's made videos.
Well, yeah.
Complaining about them.
Yeah. He also got a 1v1 interview and said nothing.
Dave Chappelle for president.
YellBro for president. I'm better than Dave Chappelle. I'm better than him on politics and policy and moral philosophy.
You're better too, Ben. Keep it G.
Point is, Hasan had these fools in an interview, and I didn't hear enough. I didn't hear those hard hitting questions that could have been. Maybe I missed them, or maybe I just don't understand the tactics of Hasan Piker, as some people will tell me. Like, you just don't understand it, man. You don't understand. I could tell you're not a fan of Hasan. You would know this. Like. And then one day he'll fuck up. These fools will never talk to me ever again, right? But he'll fuck up and he'll be like, fuck you, Hasan. And I'll just walk by sipping my Lipton tea. Told you. Keep it moving. Not saying told you as in I think Hasan's a bad guy. I don't think he's a bad guy at all. I really don't. I don't think he... I mean, I think he works for his own strategy, but I don't think he works for some organization. Maybe he does. I don't know. I can't say that, though. But he's a strategist to the end. Hold on, real quick. He's a strategist to the end, and I think you already say, like, these guys are tools for him to get policy he wants through. And I'm like, that's immoral to do. That's immoral to use another person as your tool. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Maybe you can move Bernie more to the left on certain policies or whatever. AOC. Sorry, Ben. Go ahead.
No, that's all good. I guess. I think. Shit. I think I lost it.
Happens to me all the time. Yeah, fair enough. If you remember, just let me know. All right, let's continue with this video. Here we go.
Replicating the influential media ecosystem that Republicans have built over the past decade. They're described as the independent progressive media network that is
Sorry, dude, I got it, man.
Landscape. They have 12 full-time.
So basically, I think it's a matter of human nature, though, that might, like, the idea of that later people realize that these people are full of shit, that maybe they won't because, like, there's always a need to carry on in a way. And it's like a vague thing to say, but I do think it's true, like, that, people are just going to look at, like, what are the circumstances now? How do we best be proactive and go, like, that's pretty prudent and pragmatic. At any point, there's always those young people, like you said earlier, that if you don't know anything about politics, you'll be, like, wooed and, taken in by all all kinds of promises and stuff, and that's perpetual because, like, even not only is there always new things and new hopes, shiny hopes, but there's also like new generations of people that will be coming up. I've met so many people and I always wonder how they do it because I was so frustrated with politics after about 10 or 15 years of it, for sure, and just like things are feeling disillusioned, like things won't ever change or anything. And when I see activists and people who've been I always was a liberal, but then like seeing, and sympathizing with those like people who are like hippies and they just never gave up and they still care about politics after like 4 decades of, and I guess I'm presuming like lots of disappointments. It seemed like I've seen enough in my time, and it's like, how do they do that? Like, how do you possibly maintain spirit? Like, how do you not get an apathetic mindset at some point? It's a fascinating to me. And I think you're probably right in that. It's just going to continue like this, and back and forth. Or you guys are multiple people here are expressing that. I think you guys are right.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say it'll always be that way. See, I don't walk in this perspective of, no one should ever vote ever. Like, I don't believe that at all. People accuse me of being that way, but I'm not actually that way. I'm just saying, like, it should be someone worthwhile if you're gonna vote for them.
Yeah, how do people work their way up through the ranks of like, small, working in a local government to like larger, like how does that actually happen? Isn't it that part of the problem? Like like
No, for me, they
the
could
wrong
be.
people are selected and promoted because of the wrong things. Like, I mean, I guess from the people's point of view.
All right, well, for other people, I don't know, but for me, they can come from Wall Street. They can come from any walk of life. They just have to actually be that real thing. And like, well, how do you tell? It can't just. Well, I can't say what exactly it would look like to someone, but it can't be just campaign slogans. That doesn't work. It
So
can't
maybe
just.
that's the problem.
It can't just be
It's
stated. Oh, good.
we have the tradition of people always coming from inside politics itself and being promoted from within, like
Yeah.
and finding their way that way. Maybe that's part of the problem. There's not enough of a tradition of people running from the outside of that.
Well, I want to just openly point out the blatant standards that people already use anyways, but they never acknowledge that they're actually using. Like, they think the person is or A, has integrity, as in like they mean what they're saying, and B, they have some sort of moral fibers about it, like they can't be swayed from it. There is no threat, no argument, no amount of money that could sway them away from their stated ideas. It's just it seems like that's what people subconsciously hold them to. I want them to consciously do that. To say, like, they said it like someone who's voting for bullshit, like, oh, I like the way this guy talks. I like the way this guy talks, and I think that's why he means what he's saying. He looks you in the eye when he shakes your hand. That guy is a good guy. I want everyone to start talking like that. Be blatantly honest about it. If it's not about policy, don't say fucking policies. Say, I like the cut of his jib. That's the way this person walks, or the way the person talks, or like I said, they shake your hand, they look you in the eyes. I like that shit. That makes me think this person is legitimate and has integrity, and they're honest and they're honorable. Like, just say it. Let's go there. Let's really be honest, like blatantly honest about it.
So it's like a drive and a character thing. But I see, like, you're painting a good picture, and I think those people would be maybe not distracted and continue on with that. But also, though, the problem, I guess I sort of see a slight problem in just that, just analyzing that people with a lot of drive and character can sometimes be stuck with their own, like, particular thing that they're after, like, particular vision, very particular aim, or way things should be.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's kind of a problem, even though it's
No,
also characteristic of
no,
intelligent
that's fine.
people.
That's fine. Just tell everyone about it. Don't hide it. Tell everyone that's your thing.
Yeah,
that's okay.
that's
just tell everyone about it. No big deal. Just tell everyone. Yo, Kyle, tell everyone it's a strategy to get something better later on. Let's say these guys aren't maybe the best right now, but we'll take them right now in order to move, further, better into the future. Like, at least Hasan says,
like that. Yeah,
exactly. At least Hasan says, like, yo, these guys are tools. We're using them as tools to get our policy done. They may not be the final product that we want, but we'll use them as tools to get what we want done. Be open and honest about it. Be blatant. I mean, these guys should be played. Like, are you guys actually friends, or are you like crossover content creators? Are you trying to like boost each other's, like, get audience members from each other? Or is it genuine? Are you guys genuinely friends? Or you genuinely love each other's content?
Or are you genuinely in the same network somehow?
Window open.
Weird way.
No. The moth in here. No.
There's like network arrangements with everything, right? Like, music industry, media industries, businesses.
Yeah, just make it realistic. Just be real about it. But yo, fucking, maybe
same marketing people. I don't know.
Maybe Dan Aykroyd isn't best friends with Joe Rogan, but maybe he's on there because he's selling a book or something. Let's just be honest about it. Like, yo, I'm here to sell a book. Just say that first, and then maybe you guys become friends. That makes it feel more genuine, at least to me. More realistic, but whatever. I'm going to back up quite a bit more and hit play because I closed my window because fucking moths are getting in here now. I'll be right back. Here we go.
15 million. This is more than twice what Joe Rogan had during the same time period. Midas Touch is run by three brothers, Ben, Brett, and Jordy Maislas. But I love Midas Touch, like in a somewhat ironic way, because like I always say they do like George Bush era liberalism.
That's
like,
adorable.
I've been a defender of Midas Touch for quite a while because like they're the ones who will make like video compilations of talking about how like the Republicans are files. Like they're hardcore sometimes. They've been receiving a lot of favorable
that's not hardcore, but whatever.
They're fast becoming power brokers in Democratic politics, party faithful hope, finally replicating the influential media ecosystem that Republicans have built over the past decade. They're described as the
Let's do a little test here. Now I'm curious. Let's do a little test. Let's go to the Midas Touch, and did they cover? Because Drop Site News has what? Ryan Grimm, who even like Jimmy Dore will be like, that guy's a fucking lefty, works for the Democratic Party, yada yada yada. Right? He's like he talks like that, or Jimmy talks like that about Ryan Grimm. I'm pretty sure, unless I'm mistaking it. I think he does that though. But all right. Let's see if they covered. From Drop Site News, right, about the Biden administration not actually working to do anything about the genocide happening in Gaza. Midas Touch? It's a trash name, bro. Feels like you stole that from... When did this channel start? I'm curious now. 2010, Jesus Christ, they've been there for a while. Anyways, let's see if they covered the Drop Site News report about the quote-unquote Biden administration, quote-unquote, working tirelessly when in reality they actually weren't. It's not Trump, yeah. War start, okay, tons of foreign policy. I mean, they would have to cover that, right? Am I not seeing it? Sued by his own top advisor. I didn't even hear about that shit. Massive tantrum. Disastrous pressure. Yeah. Okay. Ex-Navy commander delivers power force. Wow. Go Braves. Go Braves, by the way. Go Braves. I mean, there's got to be something. Let me just type in. Did this with Timmy Pool yesterday. Trump talks. Dislocating Palestinian. Okay. Okay. On secrets of Hamas plot. Put the entire world in the press. Biden delivers major wins. MAGA and they're just doing Tim Pool shit, it looks like. This looks like Tim Pool's content, but the reverse card, the reverse Uno card of Tim Pool's content. Breaking. Ceasefire reached between Israel and Hezbollah. That is, as far as I've seen, not been holding up. Obviously. Trump plan back. Trumper is begged Biden for help. But it's too late. That can't be it. What was the words? Doing. Jesus Christ! I literally just said it. What's the quote that AOC was saying that Biden Harris administration were doing tirelessly, right? That was right.
Put AOC. Type in AOC.
Last 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 5 months. Now he declares war. Okay. 2 years ago, 2 years ago. Okay. Nothing. Okay. Let's try AOC. I can't use my mouse. There we go. Yeah, see. Kaiser Cortez destroys Trump in packed arena in Idaho. Wow, 36,000 people, massive crowd. Absolutely rips Republicans in their face. As he calls a Marty Taylor Green to this is Tim Pool's content, but reverse Uno card, right? It basically, like we did this last night with Timmy's content. Towards GOP. Let's try that. One more thing. Let's try ceasefire. Okay, we already saw that. This is giving credit to Biden between Israel and Hezbollah. That's the only reason they're reporting on it. Biden historic announcement on hostage release says goals is to extend ceasefire. Okay, that didn't happen. Biden announced a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas. Now, I think the entirety of the Netanyahu administration gave credit to Trump for this. Not that that means anything to me. I'm just saying I haven't really heard anyone give Biden credit for this other than Biden supporters. I haven't heard like a neutral person giving Biden credit for the ceasefire. Biden scores biggest win in foul moments of his term. I guess they mean the ceasefire. Okay, they're saying that's okay. They're giving Biden credit, which I think would be even by the left or right political bullshit game stuff. Even that would be like considered a lie. I'm pretty sure. But let's say like, I think Kyle Kalinske would not give Biden credit for that. I'm pretty sure. He'd give Trump credit for it, then say like, "Oh no, they did that to rearm, Israel, give them more weapons, more bombs." But if these guys didn't jump the gun and make sure they found a victory for, I'm sorry, just look at Biden, bro. Like, dude, look at this fucking fool, dude. Look at this picture right here. Look at this picture, dude. Look at that face. No fucking chance that's working anywhere. I'm sorry. Sorry, Midas Touch, guys. That shit ain't working nowheres. I'm sorry. That shit just ain't working.
You don't vote for me, you ain't black.
That shit ain't working. No way, no how.
You ain't black, Jordan. You don't vote for me.
I didn't have enough music playing in my crib on the radio. Anyways, but yeah. See, if they didn't jump the gun here, they could have used that as a narrative spin by saying, like, "Oh no, Trump gets credit for the ceasefire, but he only did that to continue a genocide." Boom, you win the narrative right there. Should have been like Kyle, man. But you guys jumped the gun. You guys are too heavily paid and thirsty. By the way, they're not getting views for these things either. If these guys pass Joe Rogan and audience members, something doesn't sound right here. Their narratives still seem dog shit, right? These are dog shit narratives, I think. Like, they're actually dog shit. But as of recent, now it's like fucking 148, 900K. Zelensky checkmates Trump in Rome with power move. Who the fuck is watching this garbage? Who is what? This is not real. I'm sorry. By accident, Hasan and Signifier accidentally exposed these fools. Like, nope, I don't believe it. I don't believe these guys. This is not real to me. I don't believe this. I do not believe this. I don't think these guys get real views.
That's some dog whistle shit. Like, oh my god.
I don't think these guys get actual views.
Very echo chamber. It's like you're preaching to a certain choir that you've constructed.
There's something not right here. These guys were not doing much, and then all of a sudden it's just boom. It's like you passed Rogan. They probably. I'm smelling view botting here. I really am. I'm smelling a view botting. At first, I was thinking maybe it's like Rachel Maddow when George W. Bush is in office, and she became like her and Olbermann became some of the top TV show shit because people realized the Iraq War was full of shit. Right?
Do they do live streams?
Yeah, they do live streams for sure. Alright, straight up live streams.
They're obviously sensationalists, so sometimes sensational stuff takes off.
Not even that much considering.
I want to say Boston. He might say an updated version of that might be if you don't if you have trouble voting for me, not you ain't black, but maybe you definitely are a hate speech person. Like you definitely are guilty of hate speech if you don't vote for me. Sorry, it's my lame joke.
These dudes have what's his name? Is Michael Cohen, right? That's the Trump lawyer name. They have the like I get recommended these guys
Dude,
video.
Malcolm Nance is a lunatic, bro. He's a legit. He is like the equivalent of John Bolton, the Democratic. That's how crazy. He is.
This is just bizarre content, man.
He went to Ukraine. He's like a meme, bro. He went to Ukraine to fight. They had him in this. They had him in all the fucking gear and shit, bro. Look that up. Malcolm Nance in Ukraine. Look that. I'm telling you, that was like a clown, bro.
Nance, you said? Malcolm
Yeah,
Nance?
Malcolm Nance in Ukraine. He's 10
The
toes down.
second option, Ukraine. What the fuck? I'm done talking, yeah. You trolling me. Did you? No, I don't believe this. Anthony made this video in his thumbnail, and then he set me up for years to have me come find this one day. Anthony set this up 3 years ago for me to see this shit. Look at that picture.
He cooled up, bro.
Yeah. Oh fuck! Uncle Phil's going to fucking Ukraine, bro. Crack some heads open.
This is ruckus, bro. Let's do this ruckus, bro.
This is not real. Oh, Joyanne Reed.
They killing them poor white boys over there.
So this
He's
is the
ruckus, bro.
on this fucking channel. That was
Yes,
him. Where was
that
he?
clown.
I just
He's
saw him.
around. I saw him, yeah, with Michael Cohen.
Fuck, whatever. I saw him too. I just remember.
Yeah, that clown was.
That's
some of
crazy.
these guys highlight. Nah, that Hasan saying that shit is criminal. Hasan saying he defends these dudes is criminal.
These guys go hardcore sometimes, man. And it's like, yo, Hasan, is that like your honest statement or is that a strategy? Is that a play?
Nah,
For
bro.
strategy.
Hasan's out of touch, bro.
He's out of touch, that what you think?
I
don't
think
know.
this dude's super out of touch, bro. He don't know who T Lab is. You think he knows who these dudes are? You know
No.
what
I know he doesn't.
he don't
Like,
know. He don't even know his own flock.
I'll keep it real.
He doesn't know Wayne and Garth, bro. Doesn't?
Nah.
Who that?
People don't know. I was seeing Hasan back in the day as far as like his political content. Like he was kind of a lame, bro. He was like a TYT lame for like years. Let's just be honest about this.
He still is that politically.
I mean,
He's
yeah,
100% lame.
but he leaned into gaming culture and all that shit. And
Yeah.
but all right, whatever.
Something like he did, yeah, whatever. He did he made it. He had to pay rent or not, I mean.
Like,
But he
damn.
did some working.
Is that not looking sus though, Ant? Where it's like,
Yeah, that's super sus. Him saying that if you fuck with him, yeah, you can't say shit like that and have me take you serious.
well, that too. But I'm going a different direction. Let me, like, almost like, yo, if someone was like making a plan, let's say 15 years ago, and they were like, yo, we need the youth on our side. All right, let's take this kid, let's mold him into something and throw him out there. And he'll play video games, he'll have nerd culture around him, he'll have all that shit just to get kids back into the Democratic Party or Democratic Party light. Like, what if he's that guy to do that? I'm not saying that about Hasan. I'm saying, like, what if is that possible? I think it is. And it's very possible.
100% possible.
And a bunch of young kids that know fucking nothing.
But I don't know though, because these fuckers, I feel like their genius plans, just like Cory Booker, Mayor Pete. Those are their genius plans. I don't think they're going this far. That's me.
I don't know. Maybe it's TYT's plan, and then shit went sideways.
The onus
Maybe the algorithm is all
more
powerful.
on him, bro. It's more on Hasan. Hasan's the fucking like, oh, you're like the little creeper. I put it more on him.
Could this be a TYT plan? Could it be that? Like, yo, get out there and get the youth. Yeah, we're struggling, but you do it. You get the youth.
Yeah, but they don't fuck with him. He don't fuck with them.
They're family, bro.
Yeah, but I'm saying Anna don't fuck with him. I don't
Who
know.
knows?
Maybe. You know what I'm saying? I've thought of that for sure. Like, yo, maybe this dude's he gives them some dividends, and they make a fake beef, because that would make him more money, bro. Let's be honest. At this point,
And
he lives for these beefs. He lives for these beefs. He needs shits. Anna's talking shit about him, bro. He has a jank on. He's like, yo, man, I don't know what's going on over there. Shit, like, bro.
I wish Anna would talk shit about me. I'm in love. Like, oh, just shit. Yes, dump on my life. Yes.
You want her to Streisand affect you?
I don't. Whatever word you want to put on it, bro. Do that.
Asmon Gold shit, bro. Asmon Gold's talking about you and me. That shit makes you money, bro.
It does. No, you're right. And it's all about. But I think the kids get caught up in the drama of it rather than the actual substance of it.
It's money. Money is all. It's money all the same, right? It's money all the same, right?
That's where you ask: is this guy in on it, or is he one of the dumb kids just arguing and shit? And I doubt it. I don't know, man. I'm cynical. That's where I'm cynical. We're like, nah, man, this shit is not organic.
Famous viral money. Famous viral money.
And you know, because you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, like, the shit the fans don't think about is this guy just got in a little beef with Ethan Klein. His pockets are a little fatter, bro. That check came in a little higher than usual.
That's true, young people.
And then, so how does that dictate his actions?
Maybe he covers it 40 times, you know, after
like
after it's all said and done.
I'm sorry, I'm disrupting, and I know I am, but it's like, you know, I think there's like 2 or 3 people. This is totally a joke that like run the world, you know, and they just like really busy all day approving what can go viral in the algorithm, like some kind of master controls over algorithm. It's like, oh, okay, this is perfectly empty and hollow and inane and frivolous distraction. Yeah, this qualifies. Okay, go viral. They'll bicker about this. Go viral.
I don't think it's as much about that. I mean, I think it's more so about like, once again, people just. I'm gonna sound stupid here, but like the idea of like people just paying attention to their own psyches. Like, man, why am I buying concert tickets for this act on this? Like, why am I doing that? Like, no one sits down and just asks themselves why they're doing it. You're just in the middle of the thrill itself. Thus, they don't even look around. They're like, why am I here? What am I doing? Why am I here? Why do I care to watch this? On and so forth. If I care about Palestinians, is this going to get anything done? On and so forth. Like, they're not. I don't think people actually, younger people or anyone really, like thinks about any of that shit. I just don't.
You're speaking metaphorically, like, you know, your time is a ticket to the thing, right?
Well, it's like me showing up to watch, like, oh shit, Tim Pool's debating like let's say some super genius on a topic that Tim Pool fucks up all the time. He does bullshit White House narratives on this particular topic. I'm like, oh fuck, this expert on this topic is going to show up and debate Tim Pool. Like, I'm going to show up to watch Timmy get fucking destroyed. Watch him get Titanicked, you know? Fucking ship sinking into the fucking, like, oh no, the money's gone. Here, he just watched his wallet sink into the fucking ocean, right? I mean, I'm there for information too, but it's like I'm just mad that this guy never fucking addressed any information. Like, I'm just here to get him, like, get swatted, basically, get wrecked. Not swatted as in SWAT team. I mean, like, fly swatter. Like, this trash can little bitch ass gets smacked around by an actual expert on the topic. Like, yeah, show up for that. But this, it almost seems like there's no experts, and it's just, Bobby's gonna fight Johnny behind the benches after 4th period. Right? It feels more like that than even intellectual smacking down. It just ends up just reinforcing, like, people self-reinforcing through these characters.
I mean, I guess you can learn something about the narrative by studying this stuff or looking at this stuff.
Oh yeah, I definitely believe in that. It's just, you know, is that what people are watching these guys for? Because once again, I said it during the video I recorded about where Ethan and Hasan are arguing with each other, and I'm like, damn, it seems like each audience is just picking their own person they're watching. That's it. They're just picking the person that they're watching. Well, with like a minority saying "fuck you, Hasan" in Hasan's chat, or "fuck you, Ethan" in Ethan's chat. But the majority in the audience are just picking their teammates, their side, their heroes, which is trash. But anyways,
I can't even tell the difference. Like I can't tell the difference in their perspectives or politics.
there was a
Politics.
blatant difference. Blatant difference. Blatant difference. In that topic, there's a super blatant difference. And Hasan was on the right side of history in regards to that, in my opinion. Which means Ethan had to bullshit and filibuster and shit like that. Anyways, let's continue. Here we go.
Independent progressive media network that is reshaping progressive media landscape. They have 12 full-time employees, 30 regular contributors. Trump fixer Michael Cohen and former Trump associate Lev Parnas. The one thing that you start recognizing is that
they hired multiple Trump associates.
Not all there when it comes to Israel. They're trying to navigate this space.
They're like not all there. Like they're not there at all, Hasan. We just looked at it. Like they're not all there. Let's check again. Sorry, one more search on this channel. One more search. Sorry, wrong one. One more search. Type in Israel. It says they're not all there on Israel. Let's see if they're there at all. Trump implodes entire world in Netanyahu. Okay, Netanyahu. Breaking ceasefire. Okay. Even Fox debunks GOP lies about attack on Israel. I don't even know. I don't know what that one is. Okay. President Biden announced a ceasefire. Okay. Biden delivers major wins. It's the same. Some of these same stories. Got it. Not all there. I don't think that like they're almost your enemy in regards to this topic, Hasan. It's not. They're not there. They're not anywhere near there. Is my guess. But let's continue. Here we go.
Create like popular momentum behind this this kind of politics, which I agree with, and it's it's great. I'm glad that they're doing that, but it I think comes across as inauthentic. Their entire content revolves around criticizing Donald Trump and sometimes Elon Musk. As of writing in the last 7 days, out of 108 videos the Midas Touch YouTube channel put out, exactly 5 are not about Trump. 1 is about Elon Musk, 2 are about congressional Republicans, and 2 are about Bernie Sanders' Midwest speaking tour. The title scream in all caps with plentiful explanation.
So this is the video that Timmy did.
Full collapse as he quickly ruins everything. Thumbnail falling apart. Donald 1.1 million views. They're getting a lot of fucking views.
Yeah,
now, what's ironic is that
is slop though.
But the
and
thing
this is my thing with like populism.
Go
ahead.
David Pakman was getting a lot of views in the
I'm trying to talk, but go
too,
ahead.
because he kept saying like Kamala Harris is gonna win, and then there was an exodus of subscribers that left him, and he couldn't comprehend. He was like, "What the fuck's going on? Why did so many people unsubscribe from me?" Because they felt burned by being misguided. Yeah. And I think it works in the short term where you develop a lot of momentum if you're constantly just like going, Trump sucks, Trump is ass, or whatever. And Trump is ass, and there is need for this kind of slop for sure.
No, you're supposed to say no. You don't need slop. No, dude. I was like agreeing with Hasan for a decent board. He's like, we need this. Like, for what? For the strategy. The strategy, what, you're overlooking? Trust your fucking plan?
Look good.
God. Hasan should be like, yo, Midas, you want to do your best service to getting someone like a Bernie or ASC voted? Like, delete your channel. Delete your channel. That should be his advice to them. Delete your fucking channel. Because you're inauthentic, people take you guys as being the real opposition to Donald Trump or Republicans or whatever, right? If people take you guys as the actual counter argument or counterpoint, we go nowhere. I'm just saying. Like the way Trump bull in China shopped his way through the fucking Republican Party into, the nomination and winning the presidency. That's what these quote-unquote lefties are supposedly looking for. Kind of. I mean, a little bit. I don't think they expect AOC to knock down all the Democrats on her way to the presidency, right? They expect her to do what they do for her. They expect AOC to placate and be nice and be pleasant and do pageantry for the Democratic Party until it's her turn. And I expect guys like Hasan or these guys to do pageantry and pleasantries and all that stuff for AOC until she gets elected. And I'm like, that shit ain't going anywhere near me, bro. If I think you're wrong, I'm going to call you out. If I think you're right, I'll say you're right. Pretty simple. But apparently that's too difficult of a thing to do. We have to purposely mind melt people as a strategy. We need to mind melt people into swinging our direction instead of just being straight up and honest about it. Anyways, here we go.
You need the slop, but it does remind me of I think one of our first conversations where you talked about I think it was about drama, and you were like, when people kind of make the entirety of their public content presence pointing at another guy and about how bad that guy is, that only bring in certain types of people for certain types of content. And like once Trump is gone, right? They're not gonna find another Trump. Once Trump is gone, first off, as if that'll happen. Right, inshallah, indeed.
Well, they helped build up Trump in the first place. They helped that get there in the first place. Anyways, here you go.
But once Trump is gone, what is their podcast if they're not doing anything else to build? And this is my
fuck building. If they're just covering Trump, they're not actually covering news, which means they shouldn't be there in the first place. Thus, they shouldn't be building anything. You should tell them to retire. Delete your fucking channel. You're not doing anything in regards of substance, integrity, honor. And you're just fucking, look how bad he is. Which is not covering politics, right? Right, guys? Thus, they're not useful in any way because the DNA of it is bullshit. It's crap. Right? The core of the fucking Midas Touch guys, what I've seen so far, and what you guys seem to be saying, but avoiding of directly saying, is that these guys are full of shit. You're pointing out how they're full of shit without directly saying they're full of shit. Thus, you don't want them around because they're full of shit. It's that simple. Why are we waiting for mixtape? Like, I'm telling you, dude, all these fools are gonna get fucking mixtapes about like their lack of integrity, bad takes, whatever the fuck. It's just gonna get played on repeat because guess what? At the core of it, it's full of shit. Instead of making honest mistakes, these are mistakes on purpose in order to subvert the other team. Instead of just making honest mistakes, and people will see through that if they see the mixtape enough. Just being honest. Go ahead, Jesse.
Why did Hasan just say that's good? Like, he wants that.
Strategy.
Yeah, it confused me a little bit.
The slop can be good, man. Pause. That's super pause, by the way. Jesus Christ.
Can you restate for me what they're both advocating here?
Well, initially they were talking about the slop, right? Which is the Midas Touch. Like every video is about Trump, and it's like, look, Trump slipped on his pencil today in the Oval Office, right? It's like, it's drama slop, right? That apparently these guys are okay with. For me, I'm like, at any moment in time, that is not acceptable.
Yeah, it's like, isn't it like TV guidifying politics or something?
I mean, I don't know who said this quote, but I repeat it a lot. Do not mistake comedy with insincerity. Like when you make fun of something, don't mistake that for someone being insincere about at the core of their joke, right? The moral of the story, the moral of the joke. Don't lose that because it's a joke. I want it to be taken serious, right? And so even if I did slop content or just full-blown sketch comedy jokes and shit, like, don't forget my points I'm making because it makes you laugh. Don't knock it off as, irrelevant or not making an actual point. There's a point to it. So if it's something like this where it's pure slop and their actual logical conclusion doesn't actually, like, hit in reality, or maybe it does hit in reality, but the other guys are doing it too, thus it doesn't actually hit in reality. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, oh, Trump is doing X, Y, and Z. Meanwhile, Biden did the same thing, but they're ignoring Biden doing it, and they're focusing on Trump doing it. Which means
I mean,
what?
isn't it
They're
like you
not
were
actually
saying?
talking
Isn't it
about
like you were
reality at that
saying?
point.
Isn't it like you were saying earlier? Just be honest about what you're doing. But are they? So are
Yeah.
they being honest enough?
No, that's the point. Like they're okay with they're okay with the slop in regards to strategy. And I'm not saying they're doing comedy sketches. I'm saying like someone might call comedy sketches like slop, right? Like, oh, you're just making fun to make fun.
But they're honest about it.
But there might be a point to the comedy, right? There might be some sort of moral to the story, if you will. But these guys are strictly doing it as they're doing slop as basically like as like hitmen to take Trump, I guess, to knock Trump down a peg.
No, it's more like entertainers.
I think it's as like somewhat political hitmen to gather an audience to be like, hey, look how bad Trump is. Look, he can't even talk right. Look how stupid he is, right? Like anything you can get to knock the guy down a peg in order to be, I don't know, in order to win something later on, which is like, what is it? That's a rat. Like, you're a fucking rat.
You know what's interesting is
Call
it
'em
reminds
rats.
me of how much like every joke was against Trump like back in the day. Like it was just so bad and it was like so constant, like a constant need to like feel good about your political view by making every joke against Trump. And it's a catharsis for people that um yeah,
Yeah, sure.
makes them feel
Yeah, but
better.
No, that's a good point
doesn't that
for the
backfire
audience.
too, though?
Yes, it
Like,
does.
especially when it's blatant, like out of context things, and you just get carried away. And when you look at what really happens, you're like, wait a minute, these guys are lying to me. You just get used to being so
Yeah,
sloppy about just attacking.
Yeah, but the more that distrust occurs and that trust with them slips, then the more they can just gaslight people into complying and basically fear of ostracization, peer pressure, the same old antics. It's just another test of to keep who's really really loyal. Who's it's like anything anyone in any
That
group. It's
sounds
just
really
like they
bad,
just
though.
they strive to be the most to be the most vocal, to be the most extreme or tough or make the strongest argument. But it's just
Isn't what you're
complete
describing like
entertainment what those articles look like. They're just like some kind of like over the top entertainment, like an art form. So I think it's like a entertainment, But you're right too,
you,
though.
you
Political
just
hippies too.
described something extremely
Karma, yeah.
manipulative and evil sounding.
In a
What's
way, yeah.
that?
What I heard you say though sounds very manipulative and evil sounding. I mean, they might have a reason they want to do it, but the method sounds manipulative and like you
But I
even
think
say
it's
like
also a kind of fervor
gaslighting.
that like it's like if you study mass psychology, you know that can happen,
Which is even
Yeah, well,
scarier.
things can happen, but if you're using the fact that it can happen to and manipulating situations to achieve that, um, it's kind of like fooling your
But it's
audience.
but it's I don't think so. I don't think it's to achieve anything. That's because you think reasonably and actually about the world. These people are incredibly self-absorbed and narcissistic and sociopathic, and they're only thinking really about themselves and their reputation and their standing in a group. And so by saying the hyperbolic, sensational, over the top, craziest, threateningest, toughest thing, just like you could see with extremely racist white people or extremely racist black people, I don't know. It's like a type of tough talk that like within a community that in uh, sometimes both are poor, and they're just it's a type of and then there are actions that follow up occasionally. Otherwise, and it's yeah, it reminds me of that. So no, I wouldn't disagree that it's a pretty evil thing and shitty phenomenon, but it is something that just occurs. I don't even know if it's always an evil genius or people behind it. I think some people exist at that level and know what's going on.
Um, okay. Oh. Yeah. I think you have a point, Ben. I think you have a point that I agree with. I think they're, but God, it's so hard not to look at it in a
Well,
conspiratorial
the
way.
news
It's
doesn't
like seems
help,
too
right? So,
organized.
the news just amplifies and primes and riles everybody up.
Yeah, and they don't make real like. It's almost like like if I said like, okay, what's the
It's
main
very
point?
divisive, like you've been saying, bro. Like the two parties, you said, oh, then you got to pretend like there's this choice, and that get people against each other. It's very divisive.
Yeah, and if I ask them their point might be to well, I need to make sure that the Democratic Party wins. And it's like, is that really trying to do the right thing? Is that really being righteous? Like, it's not. But you think we need that, which means, I don't know, like, are you some sort of master of morality that you know what's better for everyone else? So, like, on the surface, it's fucking dishonest. Blatantly dishonest. And I think corrosive. Well, can be corrosive, but once again, I let these motherfuckers do it. Hold on, real quick. I let these motherfuckers do whatever the fuck they want to do. My problem will always be with the audience falling for it. I'll be like, you're a fucking idiot if you buy this shit. I will always do that. It is what it is. Because these guys are allowed to say whatever they want and do it. They can make all the content they want. They can get paid by, funded by, promoted by whoever. But if the audience falls for it, then the game's lost at that moment. All right? Not that it's a game, but I'm saying, like, SGGs at that point. And it's like, yo, my real problem is motherfuckers that boost these fools up. Not these two, I'm saying, but I'm saying, like, the Midas. The shit I just looked at from these Midas Touch motherfuckers and the way these guys are describing them, that there's no room for them. This isn't like a fucking game. Like, people get blown up over this shit, bro. Like, literally. Human beings, body parts, flying all over the place. There is no time to waste on, well, maybe this slop will work out for us later on. Like, no, there's no room for it. Be real or get the fuck out. Period. That's the way politics should probably work, at least in my opinion. But just we're just degrees so far away from it. We end up placating to these fucking dummy things. These dummy ideas, these dummy topics, these hypocritical where you cover one side but not the other. Bullshit. Like, you guys are trash. Get the fuck out of the way.
Well, they rile their own selves up with their arguments that, because these guys this, therefore we can do everything and are completely justified and are the righteous people. And I think that they really believe it. I really
That's
think
part of the
that
deal. Like a Rush
they
Limbaugh.
really, really, really believe it, and it happens on a personal level as well. If you really think about it, like that there's instances where yourself or other people, like, something happens to them, and there's also this wonderful phenomenon called displacement psychologically, right? So you're like taking something out on somebody else, maybe they don't even deserve it, or like the guy that ran over a police officer we were listening to earlier, because of something with his son. Um, and that's maybe even more direct. There's a lot of like
I didn't see
the classic displacement stuff where you like take it out on somebody else like weaker because somebody else did something to you, and you're associating that, or you're just mad. But anyway,
Fair enough. All I can do is say my philosophies about these, I guess, moral predicaments. It is what it is. I'll just keep it moving. I'll keep it moving. It is what it is. I'll be saying these ideas throughout my videos during different topics. I will say my moral philosophies as I go. Just so everyone knows. Anyways, let's continue. Hear what they have to say. Here we go.
That'll
Inshallah.
happen. Right, inshallah, indeed. But once Trump is gone, what is their podcast if they're not doing anything else to build
Of substance? Oh, shit.
This is
What
my
happens?
frustration with a lot of this shit. Because, like, I agree with you wholeheartedly that this is a necessary,
They help
especially
you.
right now, where we're essentially starting from.
What they do is they help you fall asleep until the next Trump comes around. Then they're like, okay, now it's bad. But right now we're doing good because it's not Trump. That's what Maddow did. That's what Olbermann did. And then the next time a Trump came up, or George W. Bush in their case, right? When Donald Trump came up in 2015, 2016, all of a sudden these guys woke up and were like, oh my God, the greatest threat to humanity is happening right now. But before that, they were just doing a job. Doing a job, 9 to 5ing, doing their thing on their TV shows, making millions, yada, 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 right? They're just doing their job. But then when Trump comes back, or when a Republican or neocon-looking like figure comes back around, and they're like, "Oh my God, we have the answers. We need to stop them." Then someone else comes in office, like, "All right, let's go back to sleep." That's what it fucking seems like. So, anyways, here we go.
Build.
Not saying that's the Midas Touch. Who knows? Maybe they're different.
Frustration with a lot of this shit because
I don't think they are.
I agree with you wholeheartedly that this is a necessary, especially right now where we're essentially starting from the beginning. I said that in a video, like the left, ostensibly speaking, air quotes, right? Being like left of the Democrats, we're like we're the most visible we've been probably in 50 years in terms of like the amount of cultural cachet we have. So like, yay. But in that 50-year period, the right really got a serious lead in terms of the culture wars, their media savvy, their manipulation of the media, like the Newt Gingrich.
If they're trash, you just gotta jump up to their plate, pause, jump to them and correct their shit. They're trash at these things. Culturally, they're dog shit. They are dog shit. They only look good because of blue-haired leftist college kids. In actual argumentation, they're kind of dog shit. Well, that's why you like that, you Biden supporter. I'm not a Biden supporter. What am I supposed to say now? What do I say now? Daddy, what's my argument now? He's not a Biden supporter. What do I do? Like they're fucked. But then again, these guys are probably Biden voters. They might be Biden voters or Harris voters, right? This guy on the left is definitely a Harris voter. I'm very sure. Hasan was probably a Harris voter. For all I know, I don't know. I didn't look into it.
So they agree on the slop? They agree on that it's slop though?
Yeah.
So then like they're so close to
Pause.
something good. Like they're so close to saying
Yes,
like
pause.
this is like like you guys were pointing out earlier. Why are they saying this is good? Like they're so close to something good, which is actually the saying that like this slop is no good, and being in the media world rather than doing that, they're basically what they're telling us is that they just accept it. Like they do know this world a little bit. That's interesting to me.
This is my hope. I hope they're saying this because of their actual ideologies. Meaning, if they lost 100,000 followers for saying these statements about the Midas, like, oh, these guys are slopping. What are they after Trump's out of office? Like, what happens then? All right. But part of me is thinking,
that they're really, really high quality.
Hold on.
I mean, maybe they are. I don't know them at all.
Hold on. Part of me is worried, not saying I believe this, but I'm worried if they do that for the sake of, Midas Touch followers, like, come on this way when you're done. When you're done and you realize these guys are full of shit, come join us. Watch our shit instead. Which would be, for me, worrisome, right? That's strategy bullshit. That's not honor and morals and integrity. That's strategy bullshit. But, hey, it is what it is. I'll be real. I think my content's better than theirs.
If they're just making a point, it wouldn't be strategy. It would be like they're just making a point that this is bad, poor media, and we should just have better, kind of standards and things.
No, I'm saying if they're doing
culturally.
it for the point of just getting their audience to their side, that'd be strategy, right?
No, but they're doing worse than that. They're saying it's kind of, I guess I didn't really catch all of it, but it's okay or needed in some degree.
No, I'm saying if they're being nice, like somewhat being nice about it in order to get guys to come follow their shit, right? So that when these guys fall apart, which they eventually will, let's say a Democratic person comes into office and these guys say, hey guys, go to sleep now. We'll see you in 4 years. All right? I'll see you around campaign time. Then these guys are like, come over here.
Right.
Join us. Join our
right.
team. Please come over here. Now, granted, at the same time, I say my content's better than both these fucking dumb fucks over here. In my humble opinion, I think I have less rules and more shit I could say in more different directions with more diverse versions of people. I think my shit's better. But, and so I give room for them to just saying that, we think our content's better than Midas Touch. That would make sense. And I wouldn't be mad at them for saying that. And also, I'm not saying they are doing this as some sort of hustle to, siphon audience members from Midas Touch or some of these more mainstream, I guess, lefty YouTube guys that seem like they're boosted up by the Democratic Party and bots and shit like that. I'm not saying they're doing that in some dishonest way either, right? Part of me looks at Hasan, I'm like, I think the guy means well. The more and more I see of the guy, pause, it's mega pause, and the F.D Signifier guy, fair enough. I just think I just disagree on plenty of things. They're wrong about a decent amount of things, in my humble opinion. But whatever. Fuck, what was my main point of that? Fuck! Alright, maybe they are better than me. God dang it. I need to start writing notes down for myself. Anyways, alright, let's keep going. I get spun in a circle. Here we go.
That 50-year period, the right really got a serious lead in terms of the culture wars, their media savvy, their manipulation of the media, like the Newt Gingrich and trucker radio, like in the 90s, like that. I had a whole video planned about that I'll maybe I'll get back to one day, but like the story of how Newt Gingrich built the modern Republican Party is a slow, methodical process. And so
I think it's a Midas Touch quality project with the sheen of indie on it, right? Independent on it. I think it's just party politics with the sheen, the shininess of being indie. That type of topic, in my humble opinion. I'm just being honest, man. Once again, the content I've seen of the F.D Signifier guy, although I can consider him being genuine or meaning well, he's still not that interesting compared to the Democrat. Like, he's not some special. Like, man, this guy's so much more there than the Democratic Party. I think he's just like not too far away from it. Although I think he would mean to do the right thing in regards to it. In my humble opinion. I don't think his ideas are that crazy or radical or anything like that. I think it's very lukewarm type shit. I'm like, yo, let's point out every single crime. Let's start with foreign policy. Every single military foreign policy crime this country's ever committed. Let's get all of it, like, lay it all out for everyone. This guy might be like, let's go after Trump first. I'm like, nope. All of them. But anyways, Newt Gingrich. Like, Newt Gingrich? You have Nancy Pelosi. That's why there will always be a counterpoint to these type of guys. Because of their team playing style politics. Just trash. Anyways, here we go.
So to counteract that, we do need slop, but to sustain it, we do need that slow, methodical processing. We do need...
Because Newt Gingrich, Rush Limbaugh, Glenn Beck, and all of the new media had ultimately a right-wing project associated with it. It wasn't just about saying Democrats are gay. There was a political mobilization that the audience was directed on. That agenda was completely in line with the Republican Party. It worked so well within the Republican media infrastructure and within the party structure as well. Whereas these guys are trying to recreate that by simply saying, like, fuck Donald Trump or whatever, right? And of course, they have to only say that because if you want to work within the Democratic Party structure,
that's got to be your first step.
That's the only thing you have because the Democrats don't have any.
It's not what he just said. Like, we follow this Newt Gingrich story here, and Kamala only lost because of her race and gender. Okay, maybe this guy's bullshit. Maybe Hasan's the real.
Theoretically,
he's the chosen one. Maybe.
Theoretically and hypothetically, you could co-opt that sentiment without actually meaning it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like, you could co-opt that, like I don't know, little wave of sentiment that, like, I don't know, algorithm picked up or something.
I mean, well, whatever. Maybe. Here we go.
Policies that you can associate with that we should be fighting towards,
right?
Because they themselves don't actually want those policies to be implemented because they themselves are also funded by the exact same capital interests.
Yeah.
And that's the major issue here.
Yeah, don't break his heart.
The Democratic Party's base is directly at odds, and their needs are directly at odds with the Democratic Party's actual implementation of a legislative agenda, a decipherable legislative agenda. But ultimately, it's just not enough.
And these pop culture political shit, Hasan looks like the fucking messiah, bro. Jesus Christ. He's saying some basic ass shit, but he sounds like the fucking messiah compared to all these fools. That's interesting. And hilarious. And poor kids. Anyways, here we go.
And it will be left rudderless when it has to do
outleft
the
Hasan.
thing that it always does, which is defend the Democratic Party.
Right.
When the Democratic Party engages in shit that is indefensible.
Right.
And that's the problem. That's what I'm trying to explain here. Like, it's gonna turn into the same thing that happened with David Pagman in the aftermath of the election, where people go, okay, well, you told us Kamala was definitely winning. What the fuck is this shit?
God damn. Yeah, let's take those, man. By the way, that outfit was crazy. But, yeah, there's so many things I could think of here as far as theories or, I guess, end results, or not end results, but I guess theories to talk about here. And I feel like I didn't get, I don't know. I think I think I hate politics. I think is what I want to say, deep down and truly. Because if you put them in moral standards, maybe everyone gets held to them instead of just the mirage of it or the simulation of it, right? Which is what these policies are all about, right? They're ways to showcase your moral fortitude. See, look, whatever, free Palestine. Like, yeah, anyone can say words out loud, but it gets accepted as like this person's moral now. Like they're moral, but they won't use the word morality. They won't use that word. They're afraid of that word. Like a lot of political people are afraid of that word morality. They are deathly afraid of it. They want it to be about just this is rational policy, and it's like you're leaving room for the quote unquote other side to quote unquote make a rational argument, which I don't think is rational based on my own rationality, right? Which is morally based. That's my rationality. My rationality is like, yo, what's the point if you're just a fucking cunt? What's your point here then? That's partially where I come from. And with these guys, like, okay, I get it. The kids are into it. But what we've heard in this is, I mean, I guess they're critiquing guys like David Pakman and the Midas Touch and his name. I was calling him Judge Bob Cohen, whatever his fucking first name was. I think they see what's going on here, but they can't quite snipe at him yet. Almost like AOC or Bernie saying, like, we see what these guys are doing in the Democratic Party, but we can't quite knock them to the fucking ground because we need them. We need these tools. We need to wake them up so they can talk more about Bernie Sanders and AOC and how awesome maybe they are instead of just picking Bidens and Harris's for the rest of our lives. And also, yeah, Harris is gonna win. Oh man, I'm like, once again, did not pay too much attention to politics. I don't know how they came up with that end scenario. I mean, this guy said it's race and gender. Hasan might say the same thing. I don't know what his idea of it was. I thought she was just trash. I think Hasan sees more of where I'm going than the F.D Signifier guy does. I think Hasan sees that, like, yo, she can't call out the Democratic Party because she is entrenched in it. Thus, there's no chance for her to win because maybe Trump did a whole bunch of crimes in his first term, which I think he did, personally. Or, let's say, immoral actions. I would definitely say that's the case. But no one knows about it. No one cares about it. No one looks into it. No one investigates it. So thus, no one knows. And thus, Trump can get on stage and say, look how bad Kamala Harris is. See, look, she's corrupt in this way and that way, even though it's Joe Biden's presidency. He'll lay out all the fucking blatant crimes that we all fucking know about. And no one will investigate Trump's crimes. Right? Or it's like bullshit, right? It'll be like Russiagate or something like that. Like, he has a P-tape with Russia. Or he was arrested. Some shit like that. It's just like, it just comes off as superficial argumentation for why we should pick your criminal actions over his criminal actions. And then Trump ran with that, and it worked. He winked and nodded at his audience, and it worked. And I think Hasan sees that. Unfortunately, this other guy doesn't see it, but for some reason, their dogshit assessments become very, very popular. It's weird.
Well, yeah, I mean, like Kamala was a good candidate in some sense, and the same way we said earlier that like she's probably just going to continue like to be like Biden. Like she was poised to do that. I mean, like in just in practical ways.
Yeah. And also, she got a memo not to say anything bad about Biden. So, and she accepted that, I assume. So, where even if she wanted to stand out and be different, she couldn't say how bad Biden's shit was and how hers is going to be better. And like, oh, this was a fuck up by Biden. I'm going to do better. She can't do that. And it didn't need a memo for that. She was going to do it anyways because she's, let's be real, not here for righteousness. I don't think. Neither was Trump, but he can at least use that image, that thing that Kamala couldn't use as a real image of, I'm going to try to do the right thing. I'm going to be a good person and do the right thing. She can't use that. We just saw you for 4 years do nothing.
But by holding the line in narrative, she maintains the image for the party a little bit. Maybe that's the point.
Oh, just like, yeah, we're going to lose anyways, but let's make sure we look good.
Like, let's just keep saying the thing, you know. It's just, you know, we just keep insisting that this is the way it is, you know.
Hey, maybe that worked.
It reinforces it for the base, maybe even just for the base. Like, pretty much, I always think it's for the base.
The base is aging out. Let's just be honest about that.
Perfect. All the less critical thinking.
I mean, Kamala was like corny. Like her shit looked corny as fuck. Everything about her looked corny. There's dance squads and shit like that. It's like, this is for old people, bro. This ain't gonna work on kids. Give him a real reason, bro. But she couldn't do that because if she, well, not that she believes in this, but let's say she actually was like, I'm just gonna win no matter what. I don't care if it burns the Democratic Party in the future. I don't care about whatever results happen. Like, I'm here to just win. She could have did that if you wanted to. She could have did that, regardless of race, gender, anything. Regardless of being a Democrat. But you have to say certain things that she's not going to do or willing to do because she is beholden to a party. She works on a team. Same thing with Trump. He works on a team. Beholden, but he has a little bit, like, these guys are more like, just win no matter what. They give a little bit more room. At least, like, campaign-wise. And he's okay. Like, their party's okay with lying. They're just like, okay, we can just lie. In fact, we'll lie so much, people won't be able to keep up with it, and they'll not see the bigger lies that we're doing because it's covered by smaller lies, even though they're all big lies. That's what it seems like to me, but I'm just talking shit at this point. Keep it real. You just keep it real, man. Just talking shit. But, all right. There's the video. I mean, I don't feel like I got a real sense of right-wing YouTube or liberal YouTube. I heard names being brought out. But I think I could do better assessments than these guys could with these topics, although Hasan seems better to me than the Signifier guy. But yeah, like, at the core of it, I guess I kind of agree. Like, there's a lot of personality and image building that's used by, I guess, the major political parties to funnel people into left-right politics. And for now, the Midas Touch guys will look good because Trump's in office. Because Trump's in office, he's doing horrible things, and they'll look good. Until that's done with. Now what do they do? Or, I don't know Brett Cooper so well. I don't know her content, although I should. But I've seen other people, other quote-unquote right-wing, strictly right-wing, pro-MAGA. I think Alex Jones might be the biggest guy. He gets millions of views, like, either on his website or on Twitter or wherever the fuck he uploads. I think he gets millions of views. He sells products. It makes him fucking filthy rich. He might be the biggest guy. Pause. And he's clearly full of shit. And he's looking worse and worse because Trump is doing worse and worse, and this guy seems to excuse everything he says. Where Alex Jones isn't some freedom fighter now. He lost all his credentials in regards to that stuff, except for people who turn their brains off and they're dumb fucks, right? Or unless he's being boosted by bots, just like maybe the Midas Touch guy.
I remember there's a couple things I like about him, but I think he's really biased. He's extremely biased, and
I don't know if it's biased or bot. Be real. I can't tell. I can't tell, Ben.
He's like extremely hype.
Well, I can't tell if that's organic or if it's someone has a gun to your head or someone's paying you or whatever the fuck. It looks very sus. If someone told me that Alex Jones is getting paid, I would not be surprised by that. I'd be like, well, wow, not surprised. Like, I mean, like, unflinchingly. I wouldn't be like, oh my god, they caught him. Like, nope. I'd just be like, yeah, I could see that. Okay. Like, unflinchingly. That's how bad his content is. And his excuse making is. But whatever. Point
Is it
yeah.
ethical? Is it ethical for the government to fund any media content that's not like straightforward and objective or objective based?
Well, there you go. Okay. No, that's not right. If they're once again, I have no problems. In reality, there should be no problem with someone being funded by someone else. But there's a problem when someone lies to someone, or tries to deceive them, or tries to mind melt them into a direction. Those are where the real problems are. But we don't do those things. What we do is, as a society, we look for like, he got paid. Granted, I understand that is something to look at for sure. As like, okay, that's why this guy's behaving this way. But we skip the initial step. Like, why is this wrong? We never look at like, okay, why do we feel this is wrong? Instead of just saying like, look, he took money. Like TYT took money from Jeffrey Katzenberg. See, like that. Why is that bad? No one ever tells me that shit. They just tell me they got paid by someone, which I understand where they're going with that. It's just we're at such a stage where we need to actually go down to the basic blocks, kindergarten level, explain why it's fucking bad to me. Okay, you're explaining why this is bad, so that can't happen anywhere. If it happens anywhere else, you're going to also call that bad too, right, guys? And now the questions start getting a little bit creepier, like a little scarier for people. Like, oh, wait, ooh. Taking money from this guy, like, okay, that's bad. It's bad because they're lying and bullshitting. They're taking money to deceive people with lies and bullshit to move them in a certain direction because of whatever end goal they want, right? Like, well, if someone does that without taking money, that's also bad, right? Same thing, right? All we can do is trace the money, right? At the meanwhile, I was like, there's a core problem here that you're actually being against. If someone took $20 million to just be honest and like, yeah, I'm doing this, like, I'm using their money to be blatantly honest, be blatantly show my morals and stand by them, be authentic, all that stuff, all those good little qualities we like. If they're just doing that, then there should be no problem with taking money, right? It becomes kind of neutral of a scenario. But the fact that the people taking money is implying like, oh, these guys are working on behalf of these other guys, which means they're lying and being dishonest, right? So it's like, focus on lying and being dishonest. Let's go there. If anyone does that, that means they're off, right? That's it. You're full of shit because you're lying to me, you're bullshitting, you're being dishonest. Not whether or not you take money, but if you're lying and bullshitting me, as AOC got somewhat caught with, right? With they're working tirelessly to come up with a ceasefire. If you go after her, she's gonna be like, I don't take any corporate money though. I don't take money from AIPAC. So how? I don't take money from AIPAC. So what? It's like, yeah, but they weren't working tirelessly. Did you make that up, or did you see it eyewitness wise, or is someone else lying? What happened there? Right? Someone told me to. Someone told me to say that. Oh, you're full of shit. Get the fuck out then. You're full of shit. Get the fuck out. Someone told you to? Why are you lying to me for these guys? What the fuck? Get the fuck out. That should be IQ test territory.
For me, when I hear TYT guys talk, I feel like they're saying what they think we want to hear, but they don't really actually believe that. I couldn't prove that. I just feel like some sentiment is being co-opted, and they're like really good at it and mixing in their little messaging. That's what I think. I don't know how to. That's evil. I think it's messed up. The money gets them so much audience, So
Not anymore.
You have to. I mean, like to see the audience having more control of that than less like the algorithm and marketing.
Yeah, true. People want the things they watch to be authentic, right? Or unless they're hate watching, right? But whatever. All right. But
it's also like it's also basically like what is your menu? What are your options?
Yeah.
So that's why I keep saying the algorithm.
Fair enough. Oh man.
I mean, it was a simpler time, I guess, when it was just like, oh, let's see what the viewing audience does ratings wise on the 4 TV channels or whatever. Like that's pretty straightforward. Or like, what is the sales on these records? Like that's pretty easy to look at.
Yeah.
But now it can all be like, now there's 5,000 good Amazon reviews for some bullshit.
Paid for by Disney Plus says Disney Plus, the best entertainment app in the universe. Thanks, Disney Plus. All right.
Money well spent by the advertising department at Disney Plus, going to Disney Plus on the Disney Network.
Exactly. All right, there's your video. I mean, kind of turned into shit talking and just rambling from me, but it is what it is. I like to ramble, man. It's my show. Fuck off. There's your video. Don't forget to support or subscribe if you feel like. Comment, agree, disagree. Tell me what you think. Are these guys making legitimate points? Are these guys a part of the bad? Like, they brought up Midas Touch. It's like, well, where do you guys go now? It's like, can someone make that argument about them? I don't know enough about the Signifier guy, but some of the shit I heard him bring up in this discussion and other things, I'm like, I don't know. And I think the same would apply to Hasan as well in many different cases. There's probably plenty of shit this guy was saying that I'm not privy to, that maybe some of you guys have seen in the audience. So please tell me in the comment section, or tell me I'm full of shit if you're a Hasan fan or one of this guy's fans. Yada, yada, yada. Don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Check them out and read them, then share them. Thank you. And with all that said, give this video a thumbs down.
Say you wanna get in, and then you wanna get out. When you get the money to buy yourself a castle, how will you wear your leisure? You zipper back and front on the fence together. Weekends in leather, flip to the right and slip back to the left. For handshakes at the ranch and small talk at the crossroads, driving up to the ladder and sucking on every rung, coming up forever and hanging on. That's entertainment when the cameras roll. Can you face the pavement for a happy dog and pony show? Everybody loves you, baby. Of course they do. Do you miss me? I miss you.
I'm like, who the fuck is watching that? Who's 250,000 views? Like, who's watching this? Who's watching this? Malcolm Nance has reached his limit on Ukraine. He's pissed off. Who's watching that?
I've heard him talking
explain it to me.
X Spaces. I've heard him talking X Spaces.
Oh,
I think
shit.
he's a Democrat, isn't he?